Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sara Graceson, where grace begins with you. Hello everyone, welcome back. Good to see you. I told you I would come in with a part 2 of my most favorite fall fragrances. Since we have so many, this is the best design weather to wear some of our heavier amber or just be smooth fragrances. So this is the time of the year where, some of our fragrances perform at their best. So before we get started and get into this part 2 of my most favorite fall fragrances, I want to ask you to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share my videos. And before you leave, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload great new content. So without further ado, I'm very excited. So without further ado, let's get started. And the first fragrance is one that should be kind of well known, but is this from a magnificent house. And this one is Dharma Bianca by Xerjoff, and it is a woman's fragrance. And the ingredients, the notes are kumquat in the top, lime. The middle notes are Italian iris, violet, lilac, Egyptian jasmine, lily of the valley, and the base notes of vanilla, malt, amber, muskmallow, white musk, sandalwood, and cedar. It's a powdery vanilla floral, violet citrus, musky woody, iris fresh white floral fragrance. Dama Bianca is so beautiful. It is the most delightful vanilla fragrance. It is so pretty. It's so lavish. It's so dainty. It's so delicate. It's just a lovely vanilla feminine fragrance. I took it out the other day and I was just like, oh, I went and sprayed it and I was like, oh my goodness, what have I been missing? It just makes you appreciate it more and more, especially when you haven't been able to smell it for a little while. You really, really miss, really miss it. So this one is the Dama Bianca by Xerjoff. Beautiful vanilla fragrance. Beautiful. I gotta get a bigger bottle. I've been, I don't know why I've been messing around, but I'm going to get a new bigger bottle soon. And the next fragrance I have that will be wonderful, wonderful, great for these upcoming seasons, fall, autumn, and winter. But we're going to just stick with fall, autumn right now. Another Xerjoff fragrance, and this one is Italica, and this one is a unisex fragrance, and the top notes are milk, almond, saffron. The middle notes are toffee, bourbon, vanilla, and the base notes are white musk and sandalwood. It's a sweet lactonic almond, vanilla, nutty caramel, powdery, fruity fragrance. This one is just a delicacy. This fragrance is like eating a French pastry. It's so good. It's so buttery, that toffee. It's very gourmand. Very, very, very gourmand. So if you're looking for something that's delicious, gourmand, buttery, pastry, French, exquisite, that's what you're going to get, like an exquisite or a classic pastry. This is what you're going to get. This one is Italica by the Cosmoratti line, and this is by Xerjoff. The next fragrance I have is a good one, guys, by a well-known perfumer, well-known house, and this Tom Ford's Ombre Leather. The notes are cardamom, the middle notes are leather, jasmine, sandalwood, and the base notes are amber, moss, and patchouli. It is a leather, animalic, white floral, warm, spicy, amber, smoky, earthy, mossy, patchouli, woody fragrance. Tom Ford's Ombre Leather is leather, but it's like a fruity leather, a juicy, fruity leather. That's the best way I can describe it. And it's great. Did I say subscribe? Describe. Describe it. That's the best way I could describe it. It's like a juicy, airy, fresh to me, fruity leather. That's what it is. It's a beautiful fragrance. It's not a heavy leather. It's not a blunt, stark leather. It's not a overpowering leather. It's because of that fruity nature. It just makes it fun and flirty. This is Tom Ford Ombre Leather. The next fragrance, great fall autumn fragrance, guys. And I don't talk about this fragrance enough, which I should talk about it much more, because it is a beautiful fragrance. And this one is Rose All Day by Gallagher Fragrances. I'll give you the notes. The notes is dried apple crisp, honey, plum, brown sugar, Turkish rose, patchouli, vanilla, tonka bean, metallic notes, lavender, Australian sandalwood, and white musk. It's a sweet, fruity honey, vanilla, woody rose, amber, patchouli, floral, warm, spicy fragrance. You get that crisp apple. You get that honey, that sugar. It's just a beautiful, delectable, gourmand-ish fragrance. It's so fall or autumn appropriate. Like when I smell this fragrance, I think of like holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like it has all of that mixed in one. It's such a beautiful, gorgeous, delectable fragrance. And this one is Rose All Day by Gallagher Fragrances. The next fragrance I have for you guys is another beautiful, and actually it's a discontinued fragrance. So you know what's funny is when I pulled this one out, because I could not leave this fragrance, out of the most favorite fall fragrance, or my top fall fragrances. But it's a discontinued fragrance, and they said it's discontinued, and you see the prices that some private owners are trying to charge. Even some of the other websites, is astronomical. Is Marc Jacobs Decadence. And I'm so glad that earlier on in my fragrance hunts or finds at times, and when I was buying fragrances rapidly, I loved this fragrance, so I just ended up buying backup bottles. So, and that was before I even knew it was going to be discontinued, and this was years ago. So let me get into the notes. The top notes are plum, saffron, iris. The middle notes are orris, jasmine, sandalwood, Bulgarian rose, and the base notes are vetiver, papyrus, and liquidambar, which is a tree. It's a woody, fruity iris, amber, earthy, powdery, sweet, aromatic, warm, spicy leather fragrance. This is just sweet, and it's syrupy sweet. It's so sweet it just may rot in your teeth. This, but it's sweet. It's sweet, syrupy, and good. I'm really kind of floored that they're discontinuing, or they have discontinued this fragrance. And I've seen it, like I said, I've seen it on different private sellers, or I don't know if too much if it's some of these other discounted sites, and they're pretty high. But if you can get your hands on it, guys, when I heard a while back that was going to be discontinued, I was kind of sad because, I love the bottles. I love this little like bag look with the tassels, just beautiful and elegant with the little chain. I'm glad I was able to be able to have a little stock up, a backup for this fragrance, because it's just sweet and beautiful. Sweet and beautiful. This is Marc Jacobs Decadence. The next fragrance I have for you guys, I have a few more great ones, and please stay tuned so you can see these fabulous ones coming up. Just a few more. And this one that I could not leave out forward. And this one is Vanille Fatal. And I'll give you the notes because this one has a lot of notes. It's rum, myrrh, labdanum in the top, saffron, coriander, orange, and lime. The middle has barley, coffee, plum, frangipani, narcissus, artemisia, and rose. And the base notes are Madagascar vanilla, suede, tobacco, mahogany, patchouli, oak moss, and violet. It's a vanilla, warm, spicy, sweet, amber, woody, powdery, leather, aromatic, balsamic, tobacco fragrance. Beautiful. They always say and always calls this fragrance Vanille Fatal, tobacco vanille little sister, or a fragrance that if tobacco vanille is too much or too masculine, the ladies would really enjoy this fragrance. And I agree, but I like tobacco vanille also. But this one gives you a more fresher, and it's not as heavy on the tobacco, and it doesn't at all lean masculine. But this one is a unisex fragrance. So even if a man feels as though tobacco vanille is a little heavy for him, he can always try, or he can always get this one. This one is really good. It just has a more fresher take and not as bold with the tobacco. And this is Tom Ford's Vanille Fatal. The next one I have for you guys is a great one, and I don't even hear a lot of people talk about this fragrance, which is sad because it's a beautiful fragrance. One of my top for autumn and fall, and it's a beautiful fragrance to have by the House of Sillage, and it is cherry. It is Cherry Garden. And I'll give you the notes. The top notes are bergamot. The middle notes are almond, cherry blossom, and the base notes is vanilla, sandalwood, and white musk. It is a vanilla, almond, woody, powdery, fruity, floral, nutty, sweet, balsamic, a little warm, spicy fragrance. This one is so good. If you're looking for a cherry fragrance, like a cherry garden, like, the tree, the cherry blossom tree. That's the kind of cherry you're going to get here. Not like a cherry, maybe like a cherry that you would eat type of cherry. But you're going to get cherry. It just won't be that type of cherry. But this is just beautiful. It's vanilla and it's cherry. And the vanilla is smooth. It fits right in with the cherry blossom. It's just a beautiful, and it's not even talked about a lot, but this is another one that reminds me of the holidays. It's a beautiful, I can't even say it enough, a beautiful cherry, vanilla, smooth, gorgeous fragrance, guys. But these are two that I definitely couldn't have left out of my top fall fragrances video. And this one is one that's very well known, and we all pull it out around this time. By Mason Margiela, and it's by Mason Margiela. It's Replica line, and it is by the Fireplace. I'll give you the notes. The notes are clove, pink pepper, orange blossom. The middle notes are chestnut, gaiac wood, juniper, and the base notes are vanilla, Peru, balsam, and cashmerian. It is a woody, vanilla, balsamic, warm, spicy, amber, powdery, nutty, musky fragrance. And excuse me, as we know, this one is that by the Fireplace. It has that vanilla, has that musk, it has that woodiness, like you're sitting next to a fireplace. It has that creaminess also. It's just a beautiful, beautiful imitation of being by a fireplace or by a fire pit or just outside somewhere lovely and having all of those great notes and environment next to you. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, especially one of my top fall fragrances by the Fireplace. And last but not least, I could not leave this fragrance out because it is one fragrance that I was kind of on the fence about, but I'm so glad that I end up getting this fragrance because I have the original of this fragrance, and this one is so different than the original. By Marc Jacobs, the Intense version. As I said, I have the original, but these are two different fragrances. This one, the top notes are narcissus, night bloom, and jasmine. The middle is almond, and it has a base of sandalwood. It's an almond, fruity, nutty, sweet, white floral, yellow floral, woody, green floral scent. The other one is fresh. It's pure, pretty. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. But this one is nutty. Has that almond. It's full of depth. It's great for this time of weather, fall, autumn, cooler months. The original is great for the spring, the summer. They're just like on two different sides of the world. But this one is nutty. It's beautiful. It's rich. It's almondy. It just has that bitterness almond. And I didn't think I need another. At one time I was thinking I didn't need another bitter almond fragrance. But this one is on a league by itself. And it's very long lasting. Great projection. It's a beautiful fragrance, and you'll find yourself reaching for it all the time. I don't even reach for the original that often, and I reach for this more. I have to kind of stop myself. So this one is Perfect by Marc Jacobs, the Intense version. Had to be included in the top fall fragrances. And that's all I have for you guys right now. I do have some more. If you would like to see more of my top fall fragrances, fall, winter, cooler months, weather fragrances, leave it in the comments below. And I'll make sure I go through my fragrances and bring up some more favorites and top fall fragrances of mine. Before you leave, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please share my videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, and tell me your fall favorites. And we can compare. I'll see you again soon, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you. Good night.